And here we are, Baruch Hashem, another week of learning a few minutes of tefillah every day, slowly but surely trying to climb this incredible mountain. Tefillah Oimid Berumay Shalaylam, slowly trying to get there. And today we conclude the chapter of Bitzur. This really was the first chapter because it began with the Hachana, the preparations. This was really the first chapter of Bitzur, B'tzar Li, in distress, Ekra Hashem. We call out to Hashem, and we've learned so much about the importance, how incredible our tefillahs are, depicting how the tefillahs are at some level higher than Moshe Rabbeinu. But now Rav Shimshon Pincus concludes this chapter with what he calls SEGULAH min ha-SEGULAHs lihinatzel mikol tzara. A SEGULAH of SEGULAHs. Who doesn't need a SEGULAH? To be saved from all tzara. A startling line. And he's quoting this from none other than the Chafetz Chaim. The Chafetz Chaim authored a sefer called Ahavas Chesed. And in the back of that sefer, he has something called the Marganisa Tava, which really means the fine jewel. And over there, the Chafetz Chaim writes that there's something that we have to be incredibly careful about. And then when we think about that, says Rav Shimshon Pincus, we're going to understand this incredible SEGULAH. Says the Chafetz Chaim, you know we have to be very careful about? That just like when one feels pain, when one's bitzar, what does he do? He lowers himself. What does he do? He connects to Hashem. So too, that's how he has to feel always, says the Chafetz Chaim. Interesting. What does that mean? He says, because the Ikar, the reason Hashem brings the tsar is so that we feel that lowness and so that we connect to Him. An idea that we sort of understood, but now we're going to take it one step deeper. We know and we've already learned that the avos were akaros. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is misaveh. Hashem desires their tefillos. So it says Rav Shimshon Pincus, quoting the Gemara, which quotes a pasuk in Iyov, Amar Rav Elazar, la'olam yakdim adam tefillah litzara. You should always make the tefillah before the tzara. And this is what Rav Shimshon Pincus coins. The SEGULAH of all SEGULAHs is what? To daven before you need to daven. And what Rav Shimshon Pincus just did was something incredible. He took these words of the Chafetz Chaim, in which the Chafetz Chaim has taught us that just like we lower ourselves and just like we connect to Hashem in difficult moments, so too we should do the same in all situations. And then he took the Gemara that said, daven early, before the pain. Says Rav Shimshon Pincus, now we just have to do math. Because he says the majority of the times, the Ikar Matara, the main reason that Hashem gives us pain, that Hashem gives us difficulty, is why? Is la'oyer es ha'adam, to get us to dig deep, to daven. So says Rav Shimshon Pincus, if the reason our loving Father is giving us pain is why? So that we connect to Him, so that we dig deep, we lower ourselves, we daven, we cry out from the depths, says Rav Shimshon Pincus. So if we do that today, before that terrible moment, what does our loving Father say? You're connected to me. You're davening to me. You're low. You're one with me. I don't need to give you the tsar. A SEGULAH of all SEGULAHs, to daven before we need it, before the sakana, to be makdim, and thereby allow ourselves to connect, and thereby not need the pain. Such a earth-shattering idea. Difficult, of course. We're making it very simple, but of course, when it actually is real, the tsar, it's much easier to connect. But if we were to depict that in our minds and come to the place and realization that, wait, if God forbid I was going through this, if Hashem Yerachim, this would happen to me, I would daven, I would cry, I would connect to Hashem, I would be reliant on Him. So once we depict that, we could utilize the SEGULAH of all SEGULAHs, says of Shimshon Pincus, and start davening now. So b'siyata dishmaya, we never have to come on to that tzara. Chevra, have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.